Hello. Welcome to Be Well, Be Whole. My name is LaRonda Little.
And I'm Emmanuel Latte, and delighted to have this opportunity once again in our Be Well, Be Whole series to focus today on promoting spiritual well being through ritual. And very often, when we say or think about ritual, for some people, it's a rather strange or sometimes even fearful thing because ritual is so associated with the arts and practices of particular um, magical or kind of pagan religious activities. Um, but the reality is, ritual is a fairly common thing that we all engage in.
Right.
Every prayer is ritual. Every worship service that we engage in is ritual. Every funeral, every wedding, and even our personal activities that kind of we engage in to strengthen ourselves. These are all rituals.
hmm hmm I want to kind of ask you, Dr. Latte, to clarify something.
Mhm.
So, a lot of the things that you mentioned could be considered mundane things. We've heard of ritual bathing, for instance.
Mhm.
What distinguishes an activity from being mundane to be that of ritual?
So, in my way of thinking about these things, ritual is any activity that strengthens our connection or our relationship with God and thereby facilitates God's effective presence amongst us.
hmm
You
hmm
see, so bathing, and
Okay.
if it is done to strengthen our connection with God, and if it strengthens our awareness of God's presence with us, then that's ritual.
hmm
So the very ordinary things that we do, if they are purposed to deepen our connection with the divine and deepen our connection with, if you like, our spirituality in all its dimensions, then that to me is what we mean when we say ritual. So we engage in these activities, particularly to promote our spiritual well being.
hmm hmm And in keeping with, we've had discussions about spirituality before,
Mhm.
where we've defined what we mean by when we say spirituality, and essentially, just to put this out there, when we say spirituality, we are referring to our
Mhm.
relationships for sure with the divine, with ourselves, with one another, and with the environment. And so, with that in mind, ritual, which is a spiritual practice, is also considered to be or is capable of being a healing modality.
Right.
So, healing rituals are those rituals that are therapeutic for our minds, our bodies, um, our souls, and our spirits. Um, uh, Healing rituals bring healing or facilitate healing within the community. So in our worship services and our in the spaces in which we engage meditation and also in the dance
Mhm.
when we dance, dancing is a ritual. In the ancient African tradition, drumming and dancing for millennia has been used in our communities to for a myriad of things. The first thing that comes to mind is um, to heal breaches,
Mhm.
particularly with our ancestors.
Right.
So drumming and dance is particularly useful and therapeutic for the healing of relationships.
So true and so right. There are three essential elements that the ancients often speak about in terms of ritual, and all of those dimensions of our spirituality are affected
Right.
by this. But those three dimensions are sound, movement or activity, and then timing and location, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's finding the right sound, which could be a word, uh, and the right movement, the right action,
Mm-hmm.
which, yeah, so this is what is happening with drumming. And then finding the right space or the right location in which to engage. See, these
Mm-hmm.
three things, when they come together, right sound, right movement, and right time or place.
Mm-hmm.
This is what um, constitutes ritual and causes ritual to be effective in effecting our healing, in strengthening our well-being. Uh, and so just remember what a good sermon, a good word
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
can do. So that's the word, that's the sound. Just like a good music,
Uh-huh.
drum and so on, and it inspires our physical activity, inspires the dance, and all of these actually promote our well-being as people.
One thought that I that came to me as you were talking, Arte, I thought about what about the right people?
Uh-huh.
Um, does the right person or the right group of people matter so much when you are talking about engaging that which is spiritual or engaging the spirits?
I,
Um,
I think it's yeah, I think it is. I think that um, some company can dampen, you know, through, in a sense, through a kind of disconnect,
uh-huh.
and a kind of intention that is turned away. Because you see, intention is very important in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are in a company where people are disconnected, or people have different purposes and intentions from the thing that is happening, then that can dampen, that can really so there's that thing, and that scripture from Jesus, when Jesus says, "If two of you shall agree
Right.
and
Mhm.
agree on earth as touching anything that they will ask, it will be done." There's something about agreement. There's something about harmonizing our minds, our spirits, and our bodies that actually results in great effect. And so, yeah, so the company can play a role. It can enhance. That I wanted to say. The company
Yeah.
can really enhance.
Hmm.
And by the same token, company can also, sort of dampen.
As you say that, I'm also thinking about how the suppression of ritual um, um, has the potential to cause disparity
Right.
or despair
Hmm.
within the community
Right.
or the person.
So yes, very much so, very very much so.
And so, in so doing, with if you know when our rituals are interrupted, when our spaces are not cleansed, are not properly set, and when we are not able to engage ritual on a regular basis, then this has the potential to cause disruptions and disparities in the community. And this is what happened to our people when we were brought to this land against our will.
Mm.
And then when we attempted to worship together, our rituals were deeply disrupted.
And there's such a need for the relocation and the reconnection and the realignment. Relocation, reconnection, realignment is so needed as we go forward. And so I really think that on our next occasion of conversation, I think it will be really
You still with
benefit.
me, Dr. Larte?
I am here. Yes, yes, yes. Can you not hear me? Have we lost connection? We seem to have lost connection because I'm talking and you can't hear me.
I can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Okay, now.
Okay. So what I was saying was, shall I continue?
Wait. Okay, wait 1 minute. There's something. I just know I have to go in and edit this part out. I don't want us to start over.
Okay.
So, what was the last thing you heard me say?
I can't. Yeah. I mean, you were talking
Are
about.
you still there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Why do you keep losing me?
Okay.
Okay. Is it all right now?
It's all right now. What was the last thing you heard?
Where you were saying about how our people were dislocated and
Okay. And
and
then you were picking up with
I was
something else.
picking up on that. Yes, I was picking up on that and wanting to talk about relocation, reconnection, and re-
Okay, pick up there.
okay. So yeah, okay. So it becomes very very important for us to be relocated, reconnected, and then realigned. Uh,
Right. Hmm.
in order for and this is what ritual can do for our well-being, for our healing, for our growth as a people.
Yeah. The relocation and reconnecting and re alignment is very, very important. And this was the purpose of the hush harbors,
Right.
the hush arbors. I'm sorry, so that we could have a space where we could reconnect with one another and with the divine. There's something about and sticking with ritual as a healing modality, these rituals are cathartic.
Mhm.
Um, for every part of our being. So this cleansing effect of ritual cannot be discounted.
Mhm. Mhm. Very, very much so. And the communal dimension
Hmm.
we were talking about earlier, that can enhance or can dampen, that communal dimension is really, really very, very important. Um, and so in our next conversation, we are going to be talking about that communal, the social activity, and how social activism, social connectivity can actually also promote our spiritual well-being.
Yes, indeed. Hmm. And this is ritual. When we talk about ritual, also think about energies. Think
Mm,
about energy. Think about other words, spirit.
yes.
Um, and of course, again, these are not terms to fear or to be intimidated by.
Mm,
We've been doing these rituals for forever,
yes.
and
Yeah.
they are ours to engage.
Very, very much so. Not to be feared, rather to be engaged and to be utilized for our spiritual and our communal well-being as a people.
So the purpose of us talking about this is for our re-engagement, our reconnection, our realignment, and also to expand our awareness of the intent of ritual and what rituals are. And by expanding our awareness on rituals, we also become more aware of the things that we do day in and day out. What do our actions um, facilitate? What do they mean? Some things we do on a day to day basis, we don't know why we do them. And we don't know where they came from, but they actually may have been passed down to us as ritual. And somewhere along the way, we've forgotten. So, if you have any questions, if you would like to share with us some of your own personal rituals, we would love to hear about them, and perhaps we can discuss them in the next episode, our next segment of Be Well, Be Whole, when we talk about ritual as social engagement. Thank you for your time,
Thank you so much.
and we hope to see you next week.
We do.